Right guys, hello, Luton here. Let's see if we can make it through this one. What's my status currently? My voice is still screwed. I'm still ill. It's like 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks I've been really rough, and I still struggle to talk for long periods of time without having a massive coughing fit. So it's been making streaming unlikely for sure, and it's been making my life in terms of video creation very, very difficult. So I hope you can bear with me a little bit more. I'm nearly through it, but just, God, dragging on and on. Anyway, epic domination round today. And also, okay, so I'm setting up my setup right here. I have to go through, think about what I want. Okay, how am I going to change it out, roll? Okay, so I'm going with the DMR here, I'm going with the Ace 53. Right, putting a silencer on there. We're playing hardcore domination. But wouldn't it be great if you could have a loadout setup like this and preset your stuff? This was posted by Darklord on the Battlefield 4 Reddit. Now, he is a Battlelog dev for DICE, and it seems like preset loadouts are on the way, on the cards. No specific time given, but it looks like they're putting it in the works. This is great, because think about how many times you want to have like a preset loadout situation. It's so useful in other games. It's so great, for example, in Armour, to have all your different stuff set up. So having that come on the way is great news, and I'm really, really looking forward to that when it comes in. But again, it's a small tweak. It's not going to make the the end of the world difference, but as we know, small things can make a big difference to your overall enjoyability of the game. So that's a great thing to have coming on the way. So we're back with some hardcore gameplay. This is Domination. Playing hardcore on any game mode can be either extremely fun or a miserable nightmare, depending on how the game goes down, depending on how the players are playing, how the teams are playing, and you'll see later on that things get a little bit nightmarish, because trying to cap flags when things have been destroyed can be not enjoyable on hardcore, and it can become a little bit clusterish. Not just that, but literally sometimes you do kind of have to be like a body, just a meat shield, and just throw yourself in there. Now, that's one thing about these DMRs that's quite nice, is you can really sort of rack kills with these things, especially on hardcore. They're really nice. The DMRs, I know they kind of are not perfect. The longer distances, they often can kind of lose a bit of their power there. That is a little bit frustrating. Also, the fire rate obviously is an issue, and we see that pretty soon, that I lose some battles, which I probably would have won if I had a more automatic rifle and I was able to kind of drop those down. But one thing that's great about them is picking off those targets here and there. If you can carefully pick your targets, it'll work out really well for you. So I do try to use these guns because I like them. I like having the sort of accuracy and the ability to just kind of get on things, get on targets, hit those little guys there. But anyway, here we are. So we're starting off the round, and we're just kind of being kind of tentative. We're just sort of taking it easy, taking it steady, taking it nice and easy, just looking around, trying to work out what's going on. We played a couple of rounds already, so we had a kind of measure of these guys. We kind of knew their kind of general approach. I was kind of surprised though about how little they sort of pushed at the beginning here. I thought it was really going to be quite full-on, intense, and it seemed quite kind of chilled at the beginning. There wasn't too much kind of craziness going on. I move in here to sort of try and take control of C. It was feeling pretty quiet on the whole. I didn't really think it was going to be too much. Now, I should have taken that shot right there, because it comes back to haunt me, and I knew he was coming from somewhere. Knew it. You've got to take those moments. You've got to make those commitments, and those hesitations screw you. If I could have got a hit on that guy, I probably would have been alright. Just got caught out there. Really irritating. But there's plenty of irritating things in this round for sure. But anyway, welcome back to Battlefield 4. I have really been struggling with my voice and everything, like I've said already. It's been very... Oh yeah, this freaked me out. I was like, oh my god, incendiary on top of me. Bear in mind, this few games I played this evening is the first time I played Battlefield 4 in probably approaching 3 weeks. Mainly because I've been working and ill this week. I was ill all last week, and then before that I was away for like 5 days. So I couldn't hit this guy. Oh yeah. He crouched down, and then I was hitting the bloody door frame. I couldn't get on him. Anyway. So yeah, I really haven't played very much in the past few weeks, so this is like the first time I kind of got back on with it. And I tell you what, it's amazing the difference a break makes. You have like a break and you feel refreshed, you come back in, you have a totally different approach and appreciation to things, and you kind of just get back on with it. But that said, there was plenty of times where I had ultra frustrating situations, and some of the, continuing issues still persist, which is irritating. But I want to talk like 1 minute about something here, is that, I was talking with the guys when we were playing last night and I've asked a lot of you guys on Twitter the last couple of days, those that follow me on Twitter. I've been asking you guys questions of the day, and one of the questions of the day that I posted today was, what is your major issue with Battlefield at the moment? What is your one major issue? What's the one major thing that's kind of bugging you the most about the game? 90% of people were responding back with server issues and netcode issues. So it still seems that these, you know, kind of core principles. Now, I've got to tell you, for me personally, I still don't seem to have these issues overall. The connectivity, for sure, I got kicked out. In fact, actually, hilariously, this evening I got kicked out because I was an English player. Oh god, yeah, I was on a US server. How dare I? And I got kicked for being. They don't want those. They don't want those pings. They don't want it. So I was like, oh man, never been kicked for that before. But anyway, so there's those things going on, and it's, you know, these kind of things obviously still continuing, and it's difficult for me because I personally don't see these issues. And you know, when you don't, you know, out of sight, out of mind, if you don't see these things, it becomes kind of difficult. But that's why I'm always asking you guys, saying like, what's your experience with the game? How are you finding these things? Give me the feedback, and then I kind of get on with it. Or I do things like we did that video a while back with Dynamite Tiger, where, you know, I said, look, you know, you've got a PS4, how has your experience been? It seems to vary wildly, but I tell you one thing that I do find really curious, and this is something we were talking about with the guys last night when we were playing these rounds, was the inconsistency. And this is something that I find really curious, because, for example, Fuse, who I was playing with here, and he crashed out a few times when we were playing tonight, but I didn't, and Super didn't. So this is what I mean. There seems to be this very curious inconsistency, and I think that's what I have struggled with the most in terms of kind of getting to grips with sort of handling, talking about and getting on board with some of these issues, because, like I say, personally myself not experiencing them so much, but then other people do. But why? Why is there that inconsistency? Because you would think, okay, if a server is unstable, all right, to the point where people crash out from it, you would think more that, you know, there would be more players experience that same problem, and yet it doesn't seem to be the case. Like I find that overall my stability is a lot better than some other people's. Similarly, netcode. Like, I do have moments where netcode is an issue. I had an issue this evening where netcode was a problem. I was sniping, and I got like 5 or 6 targets in a row who were on the move while sniping at kind of medium to long range. And then there was one guy who was stationary, and I lined up my shot, fired, nothing. Fired. Couldn't get a hit. And I was just like, this is bizarre. But again, it's that kind of inconsistency. It's like, how come I will have a more generally reliable experience than somebody else who have, I mean, I've seen some of you guys posting that you can't even get into the games. And like, how do you account for that inconsistency? It doesn't seem to make sense. So I think that's one thing that I'm going to be sort of talking about a little bit more lately, is this kind of issue of inconsistency. Because I could understand it if, you know, people were blanket having issues with it. But there seems to be some people always saying, you know, oh, this is fine for me, and other people saying it's not. Now, I'll tell you something else, right? I remember back with COD Black Ops, this was a major critical problem in COD Black Ops, was that when that game released, again, we had that issue. With COD Black Ops, the game was almost unplayable for me. I could not play the game. It was a nightmare. It actually turned me away from the series, all right? But other people were saying we have no problem. So this inconsistency is very curious, and I'm not technically knowledgeable enough to understand what could cause that inconsistency, but it's something that I do find very interesting, and I want to find out about it. Anyway, let's get back on with the game. So you can see at the moment the tickets are relatively even in terms of, we're only about 30 ticket difference, which is, you know, you can, that's sort of culpable. You can come back on that. You can turn that around, no problem. But here's the difficulty. You can see the fight for B is on. And it really does become a bloodbath at this point onwards here. We really have a nightmare, and you can see here I'm trying to find these targets, trying to be a little bit careful. So I'm not going crazy rush in at this point. I'm trying to be sort of more careful, trying to pick and choose my targets. Now, something that I have said before about this is, you know, sorry for, you know, I've said before, fuck your KD, get in there, get the job done. Now, you guys know that that's what I will do, but you have to measure that up, okay? You don't always want to go kamikaze constantly, and I have found myself many times where I've kind of felt so passionate about getting the objective that I tend to kind of throw myself in blindly, and sometimes it doesn't work to the best of the benefit. I have also got a battlefield thought for the day coming up this week, where I'm going to show you about breaking that line, because breaking the line is something that a lot of players, you know, I'm going to say it, a lot of players suck at that. They really do. Many games that I'm in, I often find 5, 6, 7 people sitting at a door, and they just refuse to move forward. They refuse point blank to move up. They will not do it. It's fear or something, I don't know, but they just sit at that door and they will not move forward. Meanwhile, the game is going down the toilet, and you're like, for the love of God, get a grip and move up and get on with it. So at this point you can see, okay, I'm looking constantly at the tickets. We've got about still 30 difference, so there's no panic. Okay, we have the time. You don't need to panic. You have to look at the sort of ticket situation, but at the same time, now here we are. I'm starting to make a move now because I've started to realize, okay, now we're in a dangerous situation. We're coming up on a 40 ticket difference, and soon, if you don't take control of that situation, you're going to end up in a place where you can't return back from. Look at this guy right here. Such BS. I remember I was so pissed about that in game. What he's actually done there, the ground around the flag has been destroyed, and what he has done is he's crawled prone under the flag. Now, it's actually a pretty stupid thing to do because there he has very limited maneuverability, and it was only the fact that I didn't expect him to be there that he got the drop on me. But another reason it's incredibly silly, he's right on the flag there, and you know, how many grenades do you think people are going to be throwing over there? You'll see later on I throw a few grenades and I get multiple kills from it, so a really stupid place to be. And again, he got very lucky with that kill right there. So here we are, drop a few grenades in, got the V40 minis on hardcore obviously, so just spamming them in here. But again, you know, a lot of people running these sim kind of things. This is what makes capping the flags very difficult, is the grenade spam. Often what will happen is, you know, once a base has been capped like it is there, you obviously have to get sort of within a certain range to cap that flag. So if you get on there, you can see this is exactly what I'm doing, is pushing these grenades through to help clear that area out. Now they're going to do exactly the same thing. As soon as we get onto that flag and it starts capping, they're going to be like, there's guys right there, drop those grenades, you know, they're going to be straight on it. Here's a good example of me losing a battle with the DMR there. Again, you know, if I'd have had a little slightly bit better accuracy pulling up on that guy, I might have dropped him, but definitely the fact that I couldn't just immediately start to hip fire and look at, this is in game, you know, I made note of the fact where I kind of really thought, okay, I lost that situation there, so I'm changing up to the AEG. Now the thing is, with Domination, it's a lot easier to defend a flag than it is to actually cap one, alright? Once you have it defended, especially on hardcore, you can control it very easily with grenades, and look at this spam. And this is what I mean, trying to get in and get onto this flag is really tricky. Once you've actually got that flag, defending it is not a problem, but you can see that luckily with the weight of the team pushing forward, the guys have actually managed to get on this and push it up, and that's what that kind of determination, everyone moving forward, get on there, take the objective. But look at the grenades now coming in here, and this is sort of the tables being turned back around. But the point is that, you know, the flags will cap really quickly. So you just have to have that strength, that presence of mind, will, to actually get on there and get it done. And a lot of the time you find that this doesn't happen. However, we are going to fall into a real problem here, and this is a classic tactical error, and I'm going to highlight this in a minute. Now we've got players moving up here, okay, there's a few guys, stragglers left over on the backside, and we're sort of slowly just kind of clearing these out, being aware of them. Those guys are going down right there, okay. Now look at the map right now, okay, A and B, and we've got C. Stupid guy running in front of me. Now there will be an issue right here. It's pretty obvious that the enemy are probably going to go to A, okay. They've recapped C, okay. But right now they know that B is very, very hot. A is probably going to be a target. And when you're in game, and I said this, we were playing with the guys that evening, okay, multiple times I was like, they're going to go to A, or they're going to go to whatever map we were on, and I would say, they're going here next, start to move. Your ability to predict the enemy is incredibly important, more so in Domination, probably Conquest as well, it does help, and obviously in any situation it helps to be able to predict your enemy's movements, but often you will find that predicting your enemy is extremely easy, okay? People are highly predictable in what they will do in game. Oh, I got caught out again. There's the same guy, I was like, no! Just getting caught out by that guy again, pissed me off. But anyway, predicting where people are going to move to, it's not a difficult thing to do, and basically a lot of the time all you have to do is just put yourself in the enemy position. Just turn the game around in your mind and think, okay, if I was playing right now at this point in time, what would I do? That's all you have to do, and most of the time you'll find that about, I don't know, like 80% of the time you'll be right. And this helps so much in being able to prepare, because as I say, defending a base, especially on this, is much easier than actually having to take the flag back again, okay? And you can see we're still down on the tickets pretty hard. We're down probably about, like, I don't know, 40, 50 tickets. So we're down hard, and we're trying to sort of hold the line here, but we're getting screwed over at the same time. So, you know, as I say, being able to get the drop on your enemy, working out where they're going to move to, and being able to kind of start to move to that position before it actually happens is really a very helpful thing to do. And it's something that I've done for an incredibly long time, right back to GoldenEye, the N64. I used to piss off my friends so much when we played that, because I would be able to sort of predict exactly where we're going to move to, and we used to play sort of what was it called? License to Kill or whatever. So it's like a one-hit kill, okay? They'd come around the corner, and I'd be there waiting, and it'd be like, bang, bang. And I'd move, I knew where they're going to go off to, I'd see a guy move, like, I'm going back there for him, bang, take him down. And you know, the ability to predict and preempt and prioritize, all of these things, really, really important in Battlefield. a million times more important than, you know, what bloody weapon you choose, seriously. And these are the kind of things you should focus on in game if you want to be better. Having the drop on people, being able to kind of accurately predict where people are going to go is an insanely helpful tool. Now, I'm going to highlight to you as well in a minute where our team go wrong on this. It's a catastrophic error, and it goes way back to sort of classic Battlefield fundamentals. Seen it so many times. And basically what the situation is the enemy start to cap a base. But you have to keep in mind, this is the other thing, is like when you're playing, you have to sort of assess damage and assess threat. Now here we go, this is starting. A starts to go down. Now obviously the team are going to want to defend this, but they have to keep in mind the fact that we still need to secure B. And this is the thing, the enemy still have C as well. Now I'm going to put this on me as much as the team here, because it's actually a failing from my part to failure to identify the fact that this is probably going to happen. Now what's going to happen here, you can see we've lost A, and C is too difficult to get to. The reason C is hard to get to is because they've got it covered from above, they can throw grenades down, they can take it no easy. The easiest thing for us to do at this point is to quickly run back, cap A. However, now you see I'm moving here, clear that guy out, there's some camping, I'm checking the building here, making sure it's clear, alright, and we're starting to cap. But look how many people are here. Look how many people. And I could talk about this endlessly in conquest situations. I now start to make my move back towards B. Nice double kill. Oh no, it's one kill. We start to move back towards B. Now here's the thing. There's a lot of enemies still all over the place here, and you know what's happened. Everybody is pulled off the line at B to go back to A, and it means that we suddenly become extremely weak around the B area. Here we are, it starts to get capped. We only have a couple of guys left here. I stupidly got myself caught in this building, and you know, they have thrown everybody they have at B. Now look how fast that flag went down, and this was my point. If anything, you know how I've said many times before about moving back around and using a cap as a distraction? That's pretty much, whether it was intentional or not, that's exactly what they did right here, and here we are with the grenade kills on those flags. But that's exactly what happened here. And as I say, whether it was intentional or not is irrelevant. The point is, it highlighted the fact that it worked, okay? They went round and they capped A, it pulled our team off of B, and then they threw everyone onto B here. But look, everyone in our team pushing in here, trying to get on these flags here, they're throwing themselves down on the ground. And this is the point, is like sometimes you really got to just go for that craziness. You've got to just get in there, put yourself down on it, and hope for the best. Getting slaughtered on B here. Couldn't cap it because they still had multiple guys around the corner right there, and I suspect from kind of moving around us, we didn't have enough team up there to kind of take control of that situation. Yeah, here we are, look at the map right here, we just don't quite have enough on B. We still got some guys pushing to C. Now, at this point, I figured, hey, maybe worth to push on C. Okay, they got a lot of guys towards B that's really kicking off there, and some of our guys already have moved up to C. So I was kind of like, okay, maybe this is a valuable option here. This is possibility. So we've got some people moving up towards this location, but look how open C is. Okay, it's been absolutely ruined and destroyed. There is no cover whatsoever, and look at the grenades coming in. This is what I'm talking about. They've got that locked down from above. You only need a couple of guys with a reasonable line of sight, and look, nothing is moving here. Okay, they've got that locked down on the ground. So it's all about B. And the team needs to push back in hard, and that's what they have done. Thank God. And this is, as I say, it's so wonderful when you have a public game like this, where you can rely on your team and you can put in good effort, your team can put in good effort, and it all comes back at the same time. So that was great there. And again, it's sometimes tricky to kind of assess exactly how these things go down. Sometimes it can just be positioning is different, maybe the team have moved up a different way, maybe they have anticipated wrong, maybe they thought they had more people coming to C and they tried to correct for that, maybe our team just did a good job and they killed a load of guys and moved up. Okay, there's always going to be inconsistent factors in the game that you are not aware of. But the key thing is being and having the ability to sort of throw people onto a target when it's necessary. And as I say, that's the thing. It's like these bases cap fast, alright? So even though it's a high risk situation, and even though there's there's a possibility that it's not going to go wrong, we have nothing to lose. I mean, look at the scores right here, right now. There's almost a 30 ticket difference, and we're right down on the wire. The likelihood of us winning at this point was so slim. And we're coming in here, look, B is flashing, C is going down as well. So it's getting all the more intense. I was moving straight back on B here as soon as I saw that flash, because I definitely did not want that to go down. Look at this, 6 and 24. Okay, now we've only got 2 flags at this point, and I said to the guys, I was like, if we can hold this, there's a slim chance we're going to get it, but I do not know if this is going to go down. 4 and 15, the clock is ticking, and this is so awesome when games come down to the wire like this. This is what it's all about, and you've got to love these moments. So many times in the past I've had games that have been so close like this, and it's what it's all about. It really makes you appreciate and love the feeling when you're in the game and you get this stuff. This is what it's about. This is what the games are about. it comes in at the end, and you never have such a good feeling. Oh my god, love the hell out of it. So that was a great round, guys. It was really fantastic to have that. It was really great. Good gameplay from everybody all around. I mean, the enemy team were pushing really hard, getting down on that. Our team were compensating and pushing back up. Some great tactics going on. All around a great game. So it's great to come back in this week and play a round like this. It's really pushed me back into it. So much more stuff coming out real soon, guys. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed. Drop it a like if you did. I'll see you soon for some more Battlefield 4.